Steve, can you begin to put into words how you did that and what it means?
No. I just cannot really believe that I played well, strong enough to beat John. I mean, I knew I was playing good in the build-up to the World Championship. I hoped that I'd do well in the first round and that I'd play well, and I fancied that I was playing okay, but you never know until you'd actually do here. And then I got off to such a good start against John. But I just knew that I was playing okay, but I suppose the inner belief grew as the match went closer and closer. But then, of course, the nerves kicked in. So until I actually potted the pink and actually held myself together while I was shaking like a leaf, perhaps I didn't believe it was going to happen, but just amazing to beat John Higgins, one of the greatest players ever held a cue at the World Championship as champion. Quite amazing.
And the shot on the brown was what won it for you. I mean, what was going through your mind? You're obviously thinking, if I can nail this, I'm going to release the blue, job done. But what a shot at that moment.
Well, I had a chance of potting the green and then playing a very good safety shot off the brown, but that didn't resolve the game. And then I thought, well, I had one frame in hand. I had a shot to nothing in a way. I had one chance to try and win it, and I thought, screw back with the green, leave yourself a double on the brown. You never know if you get the right angle. You never know. One chance, maybe the best chance you ever get of the match against John Higgins, because he could just mop the balls up given a chance. He can, he looked better amongst the balls, looked more like scoring century break after century break when he was putting them. I thought, screw it back. Try and get, and I got the perfect angle on the green, and I thought, well, on the brown, and I just thought, this is your moment, just go for it, and it went lovely over the pocket. But then I was perfect on the pink, and I still didn't fancy potting it. I was wobbling like anything. Oh, it was awful. How it went in, I don't know. It's just ridiculous.
But when you saw it travelling towards the pocket, you knew it was it. I mean, can you put into words how that felt, that moment?
Well, relief and. Relief does come first, unfortunately, and then the dawning realisation that I'd knocked John out, and then John came over and just shook my hands and wished me the best. He's such a great champion and a sportsman, competitor, and I just sort of you couldn't beat a nicer bloke, which is not but it's just. I don't think it has stunk in, actually.
Do you get flashbacks in those closing stages to when you were dominating this back in the 80s? Was it kind of like, goodness, I remember what it's like now to be at the business end of a match that's really important and I'm winning?
Yeah, I got the same feelings a bit. Yeah, I did. I've rectified my game well enough that I'm competitive enough that I got the same feelings. And I suppose that held me in good stead, knowing not to be too upset when you make a mistake, when it's at the sharp end of the game, because you can make mistakes. I've made the ultimate one in '85, so I know that you can miss anything out there. And also to be optimistic that even though you've missed everything, that the next shot you may be able to get it back again, and put the chain back on the bike. So that probably helps, that I know full well not to drop my head. And there was times when John came back at me, I could easily have gone, oh, he's done it now. Because I think probably a lot of people thought, oh yeah, he's back on level terms. But I just maintained my sort of my competitive sort of resolve, and all I was thinking about was one ball at a time. Keep your head as still as possible, because I've moved my head a bit. I've been moving my head a bit, so all I've been doing is thinking about keeping my head as still as possible on the shot, and it's been working.
So you're through to the quarter-finals, where at the moment it looks as though you're going to play former croupier qualifier Martin Gould for a place in the semis.
So somebody else said, yeah, what's the score?
11-5.
Blimey.
He leads Robertson. He's played very well. So have you. I mean, what a prospect for you now, a match like that, for a place in the last four, the old one-table situation again. What would that be like?
Well, that would be quite incredible. And of course, different types of situations playing a player that all of a sudden... the first two players that have played Martin are supposed to have beaten him. We're assuming now that he beats. There's no guarantee, but if he beats Neil Robertson, everybody thought that Neil would beat him. And the first round match was against Marco. Everybody thought Marco would have beaten him. If anybody makes the mistake of thinking that I'm the favourite to beat him, they must sort of consider how good a player he must be and how good a player he is. So all I'd say is it's a fair fight. We've both done well to get there. We both must be delighted with our game. But a chance to get to the one table set up is a dream. in a way. I mean, I don't think it looked like my only way of getting to the one table setup was playing Dennis in the rematch.
I'm guessing that's going to be scratched now, isn't it?
My plan, although I don't think too many people believe me, my plan was to make sure that particular game doesn't happen.
I don't think anyone would blame you for it.
I'll play it if I have to, but not if I'm playing in the afternoon. It would be unfair if I'd practiced on the table. I think the other player would be complaining rather than anything else. Apart from the fact I don't really play Dennis, especially if he beats me, it would do my confidence no good. I've been as focused building up for this event as any I can remember. I've really enjoyed the challenge of getting ready for it since I beat Adrian Gunnell in the qualifier. I'm not absolutely sure why. I just felt. I think what happened was I started keeping my head still, and I've got a website where I sort of offer some advice on how to play the game, and a gentleman emailed me and said, "You're moving your head since you've been playing pool," and I went, silly, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But then all of a sudden I sort of started to realise perhaps I was. And I was played in the Championship League and I was moving all over the place. And even though I played well against Adrian Gunnell, I collapsed in the Champions League qualifier. And all of a sudden, the last match against Joe Swale, I thought, I'm moving all over the place. I stopped moving my head on the shot, tried to keep it as still as possible after the shot. And all of a sudden I started playing really well. And for the next 2 weeks in the build-up to the Worlds, that's all I've concentrated on, and I've played better and better and better in practice, and I've got the same feeling of playing the game. And all of a sudden, as that's happened, I've got more and more focused in the matches. So in the build-up, so I just had a different attitude. I thought all I've got to do is come here to the Crucible and keep my head still. I know it sounds silly, but it was just an easy thought to think of. So, and so far so good. So I wasn't crying. I had half a tear in my eye because I was just in shock and belief and a little bit of emotion, but not booing. I wasn't booing.
It wasn't 85 again.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't 85 or 83 or something. 80, yeah. No, but in a way, the sort of the whole relief of the match. The storyline of a match sometimes can play on your emotions. You get off to a good start, and all of a sudden you think, well, perhaps I can win. And then the second session, you do well to sort of even hold it together enough that you don't go 8 all. The next minute you think 9-7. I'm playing a world 9-7. Perhaps I can win. And then he comes back, and you think, oh, I don't know. And then you win a cup. You think, yeah, and it was all perhaps. I wonder if it's true. I wonder if I can get over the line. So when it did finish, then it was just a little bit of It wasn't a real boo. There was nothing actually came down there. It only stayed up there just a bit. Yeah, he's fishing, but he was getting updates. I can't actually tell you the line. I could tell you the line, but can I tell you the line?
Is it a 4-letter word?
No, you couldn't possibly use it. No, it is it's a Barry line. I can tell you, but then you wouldn't put it. Would you? If it was rude, you couldn't put it in anyway, could you? He said, no. Shall I say? No, I can't. No, because it would come over because of the red tops would ruin it for me. No, he said I did very well for the for the older gentlemen. A lot of over 40s will feel inspired this evening as they go home. Sorry, that's what he said. They all said that he said you might inspire the over 40s to believe in themselves.
You said recently you're enjoying snooker more. Are the crowd spurring you on?
Oh, the crowd were fantastic. Oh, just quite amazing. Quite amazing. I mean, just can't quite believe, if you went back to the 80s, obviously you're too young to remember them. If you went back to the 80s and some of the boos I got when I came in, which was quite not a load, but enough, as the villain, in the pantomime, to think that they everybody stood up and cheered is just amazing. Funny old life, isn't it? But what a fantastic reception, and just quite amazing. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that I had a job to do as soon as I walked out there, I'd have had half a tear in my eye and a lump in my throat as it was. But I was ready for that. But I don't think I was ready for it the first time in my match against Mark King. When I walked out for that was a shock. I think I lost the first 2 frames.